to begin with. Our daily starter is on the American Revolution. I need someone to volunteer for number one. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
I'll answer for everything.
Well, Steve, you just read number one for us. Thank you.
Teach enlightenment ideas that may have influenced the American Revolution.
Okay, now I need someone to volunteer, raise your hand and answer. I understand. Volunteer to raise your hand and answer. Number two, enlightenment ideas that influenced the American Revolution. So that means we got to go back to our age of enlightenment period where we have our enlightenment ideas. So again, two people to raise their hand, give me two enlightenment ideas. All right, so let's go to two. We got Voltaire, we got John Locke, Montesquieu. Okay, I thought maybe that rings some bells. Yes, ma'am. Yes, John Locke stated, if the government does not protect your rights, you have the right to rebel and create a new government. So yes, that is one enlightenment idea. Yes, ma'am. Montesquieu was separation of powers. Yes. So we have our two enlightenment ideas, which were Montesquieu with separation of powers, and John Locke that said you have the right to rebel if the government does not protect your rights. Number two, I need someone to read that one for me. Yes, ma'am.
What was the underlying cause of the American Revolution?
Okay, now do you know what underlying means? Underlying is the main cause. Underlying it would be like the main cause or the number one cause that caused the American Revolution. There may have been more than one, but what would be the main cause that we're talking about? Yes, ma'am.
Great Britain and France fought over.
Okay, Great Britain and France fought over land. That would be considered. What does that do? When they were, what is that called when they were fighting over land? The Indian and French War. Now, did that lead to, what did that lead to? That was in, no, what did it lead to?
American Revolution.
Yes, it led to the American Revolution, but I want to know the cause of the American Revolution. That was one event. It was something else that was a cause of the revolution. Yes, sir. Say it one more time.
I mean, America, be a part, not be a part of Great Britain.
Yeah, that's what the American Revolution, the cause of the American Revolution. Why did they want to not be a part of it? What was
The tea tax and the stamp
taxes? Yes, taxes. So we got one tax was the tea tax. Two more taxes. Yes, sir. Stamp tax and everybody did the last one? Sugar tax. Yes. So underlying cause would be the number one cause, which would be our taxes, stamp, tea, and sugar. Number three, explain the quote of the revolution. Everyone together. What is the quote of the revolution? Correct. And I need someone to raise your hand and explain that quote to me. What does that mean? Yes, sir.
You can't, don't tax without,
Without, what? Think about the quote. What's the quote? The quote says no taxation. No taxation without representation. So you said they can't tax unless what?
somebody approve.
Not improve is that R word represent. Now where they representing? Stay with me. Where they representing? No, where?
The government.
Government, yes. So number three, explain the quote. You cannot tax me if I'm not represented in the government. That's what you write. You cannot tax me if I'm not represented in the government. Now, if you already have something similar to that, you don't have to write it. If you know what the quote means, you don't have to write it. But if you did not know, you'll write it. Number three says, explain the quote of the revolution. The quote of the revolution is, no taxation without representation, and you cannot tax me without representing me in government. All right, so now, today, we're going to explain what inspired the cause of the French, explain what inspired and caused the French Revolution. As a great historian, you must be able to gather information. Before each slide, the people of France have created questions to help you understand the French Revolution. So today we are going to, you will see what that is talking about, how they created questions for you. So you have some French people that will help you out with today's notes. We are doing Cornell style notes, so you can put French Revolution at the top, but we are doing a little twist to the Cornell notes. You're doing Cornell notes, but instead of writing main ideas on the left and notes on the right, you're writing questions on the left and answers on the right. So go ahead and draw your lines for the Cornell notes, same way as we did the American Revolution. Yes, ma'am, we are on Ms. Mills' page. Or Mills' page. Yes. French Revolution, yes. And you are drawing your line, and left side will be questions, right side will be answers. But for now, you should just have your header, French Revolution, and you should have your two lines. The one that's under the French Revolution and the one that's a little bit over, but not on the red line. I can explain what inspired the revolution and the cause of the French Revolution. So again, today that is what you will be able to do. Explain what caused and what inspired the French Revolution. Your activity will be to write a summary about today's lesson. So you will be writing a summary on the cause and what inspired the French Revolution. All right, so for this one, we have the Castle of Versailles. And the Castle of Versailles is where King Louis XVI lives. Again, I pay attention to how I said that King Louis, that's an X, B, and an I. The X is those are Roman numerals. So we have X is 10, B is 5, and the I or 1 is 1. So King Louis XVI lives in the Castle of Versailles, and that is located in France. He is the one that created it or had that built for him to be able to live there, and that does still stand today. And this is also, I don't want you to think this is the actual picture, but this is a painting, so it is just a representation of what the Castle of Versailles looks like. So that will lead us into the French Revolution. The question is, this is one of our first French friends that help us out today. What inspired the revolution? And that is your first question that you were writing on your left-hand side of your Cornell note. What inspired the revolution? So as you're writing, I want you to think about what inspires you. Like, what inspires you to be, what inspires you to come to school? What inspires you to get good grades? What inspires you to be what you want to be when you grow up? Go ahead. Your dad, he inspired you to do what? He inspired you to come to school and be good sometime. Not all the time, just sometime. Yes, ma'am. What inspires you? And she inspires you to do what? Okay, yes, ma'am. Last one. What is it? What inspired you? She inspired you to do what?
Work hard.
Your grandma inspired you to work hard. Yes. So we all have those certain people in our lives that inspire us. And again, if you missed it, that is your question that you're writing on the left-hand side. Yeah, what inspired the French Revolution? Okay, so we are going to inspire the French Revolution. The American Revolution. What happened in the American Revolution? What led to the American Revolution? Taxes. Taxes is what caused the American Revolution. And we have how many taxes? 3. What are they? Tea, stamp, and sugar. Yes. French and Indian War. Who fought? French and Great Britain. What did they fight over? Correct. Who won? And after they won, they were what? In debt. Yes. So the American Revolution. Now you guys heard of like monkey see, monkey do, right?
Yeah.
So what you see somebody else do, oh, he did it, so I just want to do it. Or he ain't get in trouble, so I should get in trouble. So the American Revolution, the colony, which would be America, rebelled against their mother country, Great Britain. And they rebelled against their mother country for freedom and equality. So what inspired the revolution? You will put America rebelled against their mother country, which was Great Britain, for freedom and equality. Now, they also rebelled for a change in government. So, before the American Revolution, what type of government was America in?
Unlimited? No, unlimited.
Unlimited, yes. Which means they were ruled by a
A
king or leader, correct. And so they wanted to change from an unlimited to
Unlimited.
limited. They wanted to change to limited. So they wanted to change in government from unlimited to limited, and that is why the American Revolution took place, because they wanted to rebel against their mother country, Great Britain, for a change in government. And we know that they changed from changing government from unlimited to limited is what you're writing. Also, they rebelled against their mother country, Great Britain. All right, we're gonna stay out here, but I'm gonna bring up some more for you. Reasons for the rebellion. Again, we said were the taxes. They were unfair taxes without government representation. And again, who said that quote? That quote was from what? No taxation without representation was from?
John Locke.
Correct. That was a revolution quote from John Locke. Down here we see our little picture. We have, there can be no taxation without representation. Our little John Locke representation right here. And the other picture would be our stamp tax. It says T-tax, and that is representing our 3 taxes that caused our American Revolution. All right. So again, we have the American Revolution. It inspired the French Revolution. So, American Revolution. Who fought again? Who fought in that war that led into the American Revolution? Great Britain and France, correct. And they wanted to change government from
Unlimited
to limited, yes. Are we still writing?
Yes, sir.
All right. And again, our quote for the revolution is,
No taxation.
no taxation without representation. What does that mean in your own words? Someone raise your hand. Yes, ma'am.
You can't be taxed without being represented by the government.
You can't be taxed without being represented in the government. I want you to change that to in. There you go. Yep. Well, fine works too. So yeah, that works. As long as you have a representation in the government. Got our answers for the question?
Just about,
Where we at?
Great Britain.
Now, you didn't need to copy everything. All you needed to know was just America rebelled against mother country, Great Britain.
Yes, sir.
And changed government from unlimited to limited. You got a question, sir?
You can go ahead.
All right. Now we move to the Age of Enlightenment. We are still under our what inspired the French Revolution. Age of Enlightenment. Their belief was that all humans are born with certain what?
Right.
Natural right.
That's right, and they are.
Life, liberty, and property.
That is what you're writing down. The Age of Enlightenment. The belief was life, liberty, and property. Those are their natural rights. Now, after that, there were 3 main ideas in the Age of Enlightenment. Now, you do not have to write all 3. You can write all 3 main ideas you can, but you are required to only write one of 3. So the first one, power of the government comes from the people. Number 2, equality for all people. And number 3, purpose of government was to protect people's rights. Who said the purpose of the government was to protect all people's rights? John Locke, yes. So we have the Age of Enlightenment. They believe that all humans are born with certain natural rights, life, liberty, and property, which three main ideas was that the power of the government comes from the people, equality for all people, and the purpose of that government was to protect people's rights. All right, so going back, we have what inspired the French Revolution. So the first thing we talk about that inspired the French Revolution was the what? American Revolution, yes. And the American Revolution, what happened in the American Revolution? Who rebelled against who? Okay, and Great Britain would be called the what? Mother country, and America would be called the
Colony.
colony. Yes, colony rebelled against their mother country. So, what we also want to remember is that America is the first colony to successfully rebel against their mother country and gain their independence. And we move on to the Age of Enlightenment, where we have the belief is that all humans are born with certain natural rights. And those natural rights are life, liberty, and property. We also have three main ideas. Power of the government comes from the people. Number two says what?
Equality for all people.
Equality for all people. Number three says?
Purpose of government was the purpose to protect people's rights.
Right. Again, going back to our American Revolution. American Revolution, what was the underlying cause of the American Revolution? Right, taxes. Remember I said underlying means this the main cause, number one cause. And so we have taxes, and the three taxes are?
Sugar, stamps, tea.
Sugar, stamps, tea, correct. All right, we got copied down our one main idea?
Yes, sir.
All right, going on to our next question. This is on our left side of our Cornell notes. What were the three states and their purposes? What were the three states and privileges? So now in America we have our social classes. Do we know what our social classes are in America? Poor, rich, and what else? Middle. The low would be the poor. So we got a low, middle, and a high class. High class would be the what people? Middle class would be the middle class. And poor, lower class would be the what?
Four.
Correct, yes. So just like we have three social groups, three social classes, the French also have three social classes, but their social classes are called what? States, yes. So the unfair social classes that took place in France were first estate, second estate, and third estate. The first estate was made up of clergy. It says churches. So that means they were made up of pastors, reverends, and people like I'm forgetting that. Reverends and pastors. You can put reverends and pastors as your example. So first estate was made up of clergy, and you put church officials, and for examples, you put reverends and pastors, and that made up 1% of the population. Second estate. Well, no, we gotta move to the privilege. Privileges of the first estate were that they owned land and paid no taxes. So again, we have our first estate, which are made of clergy, which is church officials, excuse me. So that's like our pastors, reverends, deacons. That's the word I was looking for. Deacons. Yes. Got our deacons. And we have their privileges were that they were able to own land without paying taxes on that land. Our second estate, which would be our nobles, which says aristocracy. And our nobles in our class would be like our celebrities. So you got Beyonce, Jay-Z, President Obama, Miss Tyler, obviously. All right, so we got our second estate, which is our nobles, and again, they had the same privileges as the first estate, because they were able to own land and they would pay no taxes on that land. And for each, you just write the estate, what they're made up of, and then the privileges. Just the top, the first line, down here would be the first three lines. So we move to our third estate. Now, the third estate, it's only one class, but it is separated by three sections of people. So we have the middle class, workers, and peasants. Do we know what a peasant is? Yes, that would be like our slaves, equivalent to our slaves. So our middle class, workers, and peasants make up our third estate, and do they have privileges? No. Why do you think that is? Right, they are the lower class. They have no say-so whatsoever, no privileges. All right, so we are going to recap. We are going to back to our American Revolution. What happened in our American Revolution? We're going over what inspired our French Revolution. The American Revolution was a colony rebelled against its mother country. Who was our colony? No, our colony was America. And our mother country? Great Britain. Yes. French-Indian War. What were they fighting over? Land. Yes. What was the main cause that America wanted to get away from Great Britain? Yes, it was taxes. And the slogan was?
No taxation
Without representation. Yes, our three taxes were?
Stamp, tea, and sugar.
Stamp, tax, tea, and sugar. Stamp, tax, tea, and sugar. Yeah. Okay. And our Age of Enlightenment beliefs, they were that what? We just went over Age of
All
Enlightenment.
humans have the natural rights of life, living, and property.
All humans have born with natural rights, life, liberty, and property. Yes, ma'am. And so, after our Age of Enlightenment, we have three main ideas. What was number one? Our main ideas for our Age of Enlightenment. Remember I told you had to write down one of them? Okay, what did you write down? Equality. Is that one everybody wrote because it's the shortest?
Yes.
Y'all ain't no good. The other two, power of the government comes from the people. Number three was purpose of the government was to protect people's rights. We moved on to our unfair social classes, which gave us the first estate, second estate, third estate. First estate was made up of clergy, so that would be who? And our examples would be pastors, deacons, correct. And their privileges were that they were able to do what? Correct. Second estate, nobles. That would be our what? I just want you to tell me like what would be equivalent be to our class. It would be, I told you it was. Yes, our celebrities. And they were able to do what? Their privilege. Okay. And our third estate was our middle class, workers, and our peasants. They had no privileges. Now, so since the first and second estate had to pay no taxes, the third estate had no privileges. So who do you think paid the taxes? Yes, the third estate. So they were already poor. They were the lowest class, the lowest estate, excuse me, because we are talking about estates now, not classes. They were the lowest estate, and they had no privileges, but they also had to pay the taxes. So they had to give, if they had to make like $5 a week, they had to give up $4 of that to pay taxes. So they were paying taxes they were paying all the taxes of the French, and the first and second estate were able to pay no taxes. All right, so now we're going to move into our independent practice. On your side, you're writing a summary with On your side, you're writing a summary with 7 to 10 sentences about today's lesson. So again, you were writing on the Millhouse page, you're moving to your page. Your focus question is, explain what inspired and caused the French Revolution. So today we talked about what inspired and what caused the French Revolution. Today we talked about what inspired and caused the French Revolution. So I want you to you're writing 7 to 10 sentences about today's lesson. Remember, I will always ask what inspired the French Revolution. Use your notes. It's time to use your notes. You can practice using notes and tell me what you learned today. Then you're on your side of in your notebook, you're on your page. Back on task. Thank you, Ms. Towers. Yes, ma'am. So, maybe they can change that. We're talking about the states. Yeah, 213. Pass out the little flyers that he came in and gave to us. Come over. Leave them on your desk. I'm going to tell you what inspired and what caused this French Revolution. Everyone got a little flyer except for 5, right? Once you have finished, you can go ahead and work on your closure and put this under your summary. Just skip a line and start with closure. And you are doing 3 facts about the French Revolution that you're going to today. I gave you many facts today. And you are going to just give me 3 of your facts. Yes, sir. Say it one more time. Okay, so review what we talked about today. We talked about what inspired and caused the French Revolution. So, our first event that inspired the French Revolution was the what? The American Revolution. Yes, it inspired it because why? Remember I told you about the monkey see, monkey do? So, the American Revolution said that they, since the Americans did it, the French said we can do it too. So, American Revolution, what the colony rebelled against who? And the colony was America and mother country? Correct. And their main cause or underlying cause for rebelling was taxes, 3 taxes. Tea, stamp, and sugar. Tea, stamp, and sugar, yes. Next event was Age of Enlightenment. Age of Enlightenment beliefs were that all people were born with natural rights. What are those 3 natural rights?
Life, liberty, and property.
Life, liberty, and property, yes. And there were 3 main ideas of the Age of Enlightenment. Number 1 stated what? Okay, what did everybody write down? Equality of all people, yes. Yes, the government should protect all rights. Who said that quote? John Locke. What did he say? Alright. You have the option of rebelling and creating a, correct. We moved on to our social classes. How many social classes are in France? Yes, 3. They were called, what was the first one called? First estate, and that would be our, what people? Church officials, yes. And their privileges? Own land, pay no taxes. Estate number 2. And that would be our equivalent to celebrities. Correct. Their privileges? They pay no taxes. Third estate? Yes. That would be equivalent to our low class, yes. Poor people, low class, yes. And they had no privileges, but they did do what? Pay all the taxes. Yes, they paid taxes, but I want you to know that they paid all the taxes. Nobody paid taxes except for the third estate. And you could also not leave, you could not switch states. Every state you were born in, that's the state you was in for the rest of your life. So my dad was a, nope, can't marry nobody. Because if I'm third estate and I marry somebody in second estate, I can't go, my kids can't live in 2.5 estate. So you can only marry inside the estate. So we talked about what inspired and caused our French Revolution. So that should be able to help those that are not finished with the independent practice to finish. Also, it should be able to be the closure as well now, because we have went over our lesson. We reiterated what our important topics were. Again, our standard you are to able to explain what inspired and caused the French Revolution. The objectives were that I can explain the cause and what inspired the French Revolution. The central question that I would need you to know today was what events inspired and caused the French Revolution. Again, we said a revolution is
A change.
a change, and since we're talking about the French Revolution, that means the change happened in France, right? So American and French Revolution, they wanted to change governments from a to a limited, yes.